I have 3 kids, an incredibly sandy backyard, and disgusting floors. And I made them worse on purpose to see what the MOVA V70 Ultra Complete could actually handle. And I have a saying around here that the best robot vacuum isn't always the one that in the tests can pick up the 3 grains of sand versus the 4 grains of sand, but it's the one that can continually run in your home without you having to babysit it. And spoiler alert, the V70 does an awesome job. And this robot vacuum has 2 very specific features that I have not seen anywhere before, which is why I decided to partner with MOVA for this video. So on a bad day, my floors are gonna be covered with food, whatever's coming off the table onto the floor, sand from the backyard. We have tons of chair legs to get around and a ton of table legs to get around as well. So yes, I expected to pick up all of those things, but what about toys everywhere? And that's really where this V70 also shines, is that many times I had my kids just play and then I wouldn't even pick up normally, which is what I would kind of do for my daily driver robot vacuums. I wouldn't even pick up. I would just run it to see what it could do. Did it ever get hung up? And so far in my home, after nearly a month of testing, it has made it back to the base 100% of the time and has not gotten stuck on anything, which I don't know if I can say that before. So that's pretty impressive. Now it boasts 42,000 pascals of suction. What does that actually mean to you? And what it means to me is that this thing on hard floor or on carpet is gonna be able to pick up almost anything you throw at it. Now it's kind of hard to see on my very dark floors, but we have tons of food and sand on these floors, and this thing does a phenomenal job as picking that up. As you can see, I used some white flour so that you can see it a little bit better, which is actually very hard to pick up, and this thing handled it absolutely no problem. On top of that, it can also extend its side brush out to the side, and this is the part that kind of like blew me away. That mop, it can swing that thing out to the side incredibly far, 6.7 inches to the side. So if you have a bunch of chair legs or table legs like I do, this is the closest clean that I have ever gotten with a robot vacuum to these legs, up close to my baseboards, underneath toe kicks, even under doors. It's pretty incredible. Now for dried on stains or just mopping in general, it does boast 15 newtons of downward pressure and 300 RPMs for that mop. That's the speed that they spin. And this isn't just like dragging the wet mop around. That 15 newtons means that it's actually scrubbing that floor, as you can see in this B-roll of these tests. Now, as I said, the best robot vacuum for you is gonna be the one that can vacuum your home, your entire home, without babysitting it, and that's gonna mean thresholds. And I have a few very large thresholds in my home, and this vacuum can handle up to 3.5 inches of a threshold, which that's massive. Mine are like an inch, which stop most robot vacuums, and this one climbs it no problem. So gone are the days of you saying, oh, well, it'd be really great if it could get into this bathroom, but the threshold is really high, and so it can't. No more. 3.5 inches, incredible climbing ability. We've got some girls with some pretty long hair in our household, and after weeks of running this thing, I'm running this thing multiple times a day. You can see that the roller brush is completely clean. It's not getting tangled up. It also has the dual brushes, which is excellent for picking up versus a single brush. So not only is it the 42,000 pascals of suction on its highest setting, it's also got the dual brushes, which do a great job of picking up debris, and it's not gonna get caught up with hair. It's pulling that stuff straight into the bin. Now, I've already talked about the extended reach of that mop, but I'm gonna hit on it again just because it's the best that I've seen so far. Over 6 inches out to the side that this thing can get, so that's clearly gonna be under your toe kicks. Previously, you'd have to worry about the height of the vacuum. Can it actually get under the toe kick? That doesn't really matter. That thing can stay out to the side. It's gonna swing that mop underneath there. It's done a great job reaching where other vacuums cannot. Even if they have a little bit of a side reach with their mop, nothing comes close to this nearly 7 inches of side reach. It even has done a good job. This is gonna be kind of hard to explain, but I have what's called quarter round or shoe molding in front of my baseboards. And sometimes the robot vacuums can push their mop up onto it, and that'll actually keep the mop elevated so that it's not cleaning along the baseboard. And this one, whatever algorithm it's using, gets that mop right up against that shoe molding. It doesn't climb on top of it, and it does a great job just mopping all the way down it. And we have an area in our home right by our table that has a toe kick that most of the robot vacuums cannot clean, and it gets pretty gross. and this one can reach there. Now, this does vacuum and mop. It can do that at the same time, or you could set it up to vacuum and then mop. It can leave its mops at the base, but if you're having it vacuum and mop, it is smart enough to pick the mops up when it's going on carpet, so it's not gonna drag wet mops across your carpet. So that's a great feature. But let's talk about the dock, because a lot of times we focus on the robot vacuum, which is great, and this is an excellent robot vacuum, especially the obstacle avoidance, which we're about to get into. But let me talk about the dock for a second, because it has what I think is just one of the best innovations that I've seen in a long time. And that is when it vacuums out the robot vacuum, it doesn't use a bag. It essentially has a bin that the debris goes in. You might be thinking, Richard, that's no big deal. I've just used bags in the past. Okay, I was basically in a routine of before I would throw away the bag, I'd go swap it out, I would cut it open and I would go through it to make sure there was no kids' toys, Barbie shoes, Barbie high heels, puzzle pieces, beads, whatever. And we would look in it and then we would throw it away. Well, this bin is excellent. I don't have to use bags anymore. I don't have to cut them open. I can just open the bin, look in the bin. I can also do it more frequently. So instead of having to sacrifice the bag early and cut it open, this is such a unique use case, but I'm gonna tell you about it anyway. You can take that bin out and you can look in it periodically to see, oh, did the vacuum accidentally get something? The obstacle avoidance is exceptional, but it's not gonna be perfect for the entire time that you have this thing. It was very good while I've had it. It has not gotten stuck. It has not sucked up any toys or anything, but just statistically, after running this thing multiple times a day for months on end, it's probably gonna pick up something on accident. And you can go check in the bin. You don't have to sacrifice a bag. I love this. Now, some other things about the base. You really don't have to touch this thing. The washboard for the mop is self-cleaning with extremely hot water. It's gonna wash those mops and then it's gonna dry them very quickly. It can do it in an hour so that they don't stink or mildew or anything like that long term. It's got its clean water, it's got its dirty water, and of course, like I said, it's gonna vacuum out that robot vacuum into that bin. And so you don't have to touch this thing for weeks, depending on your specific setup. The thing that I do have to do weekly in my home, because I mop so much, is that I am changing the water out, which is no big deal. So I just empty the dirty bin and then I just fill the clean bin and that's it. But I'm really not touching anything else on this vacuum, which is very good. Now this thing has a camera and it can recognize up to 300 different types of obstacles. I just left all the kids' toys out every time I would clean because I wanted to see what it could do. It did bump into things here and there occasionally, but it did an incredible job trying to vacuum and mop around these things. Obviously, specs matter, okay? But here I'm not testing how many grains of sand? Did it get 250 grams of sand or 251 grams of sand? I'm saying that this thing can run in my home with essentially no maintenance except for the water for weeks on end. And that to me is a huge value versus another one that, hey, it might vacuum up 1 extra gram of sand, but it's not gonna run in your home long term. You're constantly gonna have to be messing with it, and then you're gonna miss the scheduled clean or something like that. This one just runs, keeps the house clean, it mops, it's great. So will this vacuum run in my home with my kids, with the furniture, with all this different stuff and thresholds, day after day without me constantly having to do stuff? And the answer is a profound yes. The V70 absolutely will. You should give this thing a look. Links will be in the description below if you want to go ahead and check it out. As always, thank you so much for watching Break It Yourself. Don't forget to thumbs me up, and we will see you next time.